Yeah, you guys on?
Yeah, we'll do it.
So, trying to think that how not to fall asleep when you meditate. And see, the power of meditation is you do calm down, and you're able to be calmer. Helps. That's why people meditate don't suffer from high blood pressure. Baruch Hashem. You know, I'm not young, and most of my friends have blood pressure, take red blood pressure medication. You're much younger than I. It's when you meditate every day, your body is much calmer. But what he said, he said that sometimes you could fall asleep. That's true. It's very easy, you know. If you're one of the ways that I do if I'm very tired is I walk around. I stand up. I usually do it in the shul very in the morning. Or if I do it at home, I just walk back and forth and I don't fall asleep. But another thing of meditation, which I really want, after a while you should do it, is speak it out to Hashem. Just say, you know, whatever you're meditating, you want to think that Hashem is all over, think that God is all over. Or you ask yourself, better, if you don't feel Hashem, you ask yourself, Aye Mekoim Kavoidoi, where is Hashem? Again and again. You say it again, and you know, you ask, I would like to get closer, like to feel Hashem. The more you do it, the more you feel Hashem really all over you. See, what's so powerful is, we did the first time we did the experience over here, we asked people who have pain. Anyone who has pain, we all have pain. Question is what type of pain? Physical, emotionally, you know, life is painful. So what you do, what very often I do, is just think about the greatness of Hashem, and I bring it all into my pain, everything. But it doesn't take a minute, it takes much more. You think about Hashem is all over. I think Hashem, how great Hashem is. I told you that I sometimes meditate. I take a picture of, have a download a picture of Earth, and look at this blue marble, and you think about this blue marble. You remember nothing doing there. Look what a life, what's going on over here. Look now, it's mind-boggling the greatness of Hashem. It's unbelievable how we exist, how we, you know, every one of you has a family, and it's going to grow. And if you're young, your children are young, they're going to become adults, and they're going to run their life. And it's just amazing how we see, how we hear, how we understand, how we connect. I mean, this is just mind-boggling how it is, and how much the other way around, how easy to mess up life. It's just part of what the Hashem gave us, the free choice. I think. So, you know, so in order, again, not to fall asleep, either, you know, if you're very tired, I walk around all the time to do that. And if not, I just speak it out. I just speak, or if you want to be a little bit chassidish, you think about the name of Hashem. Somebody you see, that is the one who runs the world. And my life, I always think about how nothing we are to him. I last time passed on the picture of the globe. You know, remember that picture? What are we on that globe? A nothing. What is the entire globe in the universe? A nothing of a nothing. It's really humiliating. You ever think about that? We can't even see us from the closest star. Closest star is about 4.3 light years away. Do you know how long it would take us to get there? If we could get them to as far as we are concerned right now, physics, it would take us 20,000 years to get there. Our neighbor, 20,000 years to get there. And I think about the sun. I tell you, the sun, I always think about the sun, 3 million Earths fit into the sun. Not bad. And how many humans fit into the sun? It's mind-boggling. That God created us. That's what I think about. And the more you think about it, you see how He created us, gave us the mitzvahs, gave us a free will, and just rely on Him. You bring yourself into a massive that Hashem is running the world. The more you do that, the less stressful it is, because you know what we do every day? We do something that is, I call it bipolar, and I hate to use that word, but that's what it is. We have one part of us, we gotta do shtabdus, gotta make the phone calls, I gotta work, and gotta make sure, we make the connections, make money. And the second part of it is, gotta make things basher. No matter how much shtabdus you do, if Hashem wants it to happen, it's gonna happen. It's like, two thoughts has to go through your mind. One, I must do my hishtadlus. I must do what has to be done and run around. And a minute later, I have to know if Hashem doesn't want, all of this is poof. But you got to do the hishtadlus. So it's every day. There's these two things fighting inside of you. You understand? You follow what I'm trying to say? One part of you, I got to do. If I don't sit back, money's not coming down the chimney. I got to do my hishtadlus. I know you went to a business Friday. You have to go there. You have to do your business. You have to call people and get rejected, and drape people out up as much as you can. And then you have to say at the end of the day, whatever I did, it's bashet, and I didn't get that, and you get upset, and that's very difficult. So if every day you meditate this way, it becomes part of your process thought. Everything is in the hands of Hashem. And I'm just going to do my hishtadlus. But I normally do part of meditation. I always tell people in business, I do it in my work. I always say, Hashem, let me help you work the least and make the most. I'm sure you guys over here work sometimes, and you work a few days, and the whole thing is up in smoke. Makes sense? I don't know what your businesses are, but yes, does happen. Yeah. I had a guy in my shoe told me he worked 3 months on a business about it. He spent $20,000 just for the legal fees. That didn't bother him. He was very wealthy. But it bothered him, 3 months of daily work went up in smoke. And just with one of the big partners in the last minute just pulled out, and the whole thing, boom. So you should daven. Let me work the least and make the most. And daven, and part of meditation, I always daven, my children should be healthy, and this should work out, I should be healthy, my wife should be healthy. Because then you connect yourself to the Rebbeinu Shalom. See, otherwise we live a disconnected life from Hashem. As I mentioned, people only think about Hashem when they're in trouble. No one thinks about Hashem in a daily ways, like, I have to, what's Bashet? We say it's Bashet. We ask him, how are you? Baruch Hashem. My answer is, and now I know you're religious. Maybe. Baruch Hashem. You haven't told me how you are. And if you really meant it, that's very rare that a guy says, really, Baruch Hashem, my tzuris is geschmack. The truth is, we're not connected to the Rebbeinu Shalom. It is. We are much more connected. The thing which all the Chassidish from all the Balamusa say this, our body is such a demanding, spoiled child. It's amazing. If you have children, the one who squeaks the most gets oiled. How do you say the wheel that gets squeaked? Who squeaks the most is your body. If you don't feed your body one day, or you didn't eat one day, and you ran, boy, is he gonna let you know it. You don't daven one day? No, daven tomorrow. No. Skip the davening. We'll make up. Your body never says that. You skip it for you. Have to eat every day. Have to eat 3 times a day. You have to sleep every night. Yes. And he says, if you don't, I'm going to let you know it. And if you tell him, in a half hour I'm going to go, no. 5 minutes later, he screams again. That's the challenge of our Yetzer Hara. The body is relentless. In every way, it demands to be fed, demands to be rested, demands to be showered, demands to fill its needs. You know what I mean? It's no one wakes up in the morning, I just gotta learn. I'm so thirsty for learning. I'm so hungry to the daf. You know what I mean? Can't wait to put on my phone. I always joke about it. We wake up and say Moidani. Imagine you tell your wife Moidani like you tell Hashem Moidani. You'll be in trouble. Thank you so much. Shalom, that's how you thank me. Doesn't make a difference how long you're married to me, if that's how you thank me. You know, because that's the rule. The body, for her needs, screams. And the Ruchnis doesn't scream. So the meditation helps a person to elevate yourself and think this is, you know, if you could look at your body from a higher point, much higher point, say, this body is a nudnik. He's a demanding fellow, isn't it true? I don't think Bill the day, not maybe all of you do, but I suspect. No, I can't wait. Mincha should come already. Probably look at the watch. You know, after that mincha, let's take care of it. You know, when you have food, you don't say we gotta eat. When I was, raising my children, I used to always tell them, it comes to dessert. They says, "Ma, what's for dessert?" What do you have for dessert? It came to benching. It was let's bench. Let's get it over with already. It's a different niggin. That niggin is, Ma, what's for dessert? You know, it's late, we got a bench. You know, but then you say, we have, oh yeah, what's for dessert? Yeah. That's the body, how our body is. The Gashmi is, it's just, it's demanding and screams and it wants, and it's a spoiled brat. Comes to the Neshama, okay, I'll give you something. Why? Because the body really screams. If you don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't fill its needs, it is gonna let you know, by hook and by crook. You tell him, listen, I'm not gonna eat one day. I eat every day of the year. We all know, we just fasted down a siesta. I had a terrible fast. I don't know why, but I didn't fast well. Trying to figure out what happened. But you know, it lets you know. But if you skip a day of spirituality, say, tomorrow I'll make up for it, don't worry. We'll go to tomorrow, we'll do this tomorrow. So we have to, add to our spirituality. One of the greatest things in meditation is you make Hashem more a real thing. And then you think about it outside your body. I want to connect to Hashem. You know why? Let me tell you something. This body, I say in English, will croak. That's the word in English. This body is gonna say goodbye one day. It's gonna be buried. Maybe you'll have a schus, it'll be a big levaya. All of us, I don't know how young you are, but in 80 years from now, I suspect none of you are gonna be here. I'll give 80 years. Maybe you all live 130 over here. But 80 years from now, this is going to be a different world. And no one's going to remember you, You think the grandchildren, great-grandchildren remember you? Yeah, that's a picture. My great-grandmother, did you know her? My mother just passed away. She had an unbelievable number of great-grandchildren. Some of them she knew, some of she didn't. So this body is not going to last, but your soul is going to last. So let's feed the soul. That's what the whole spirituality is really about. Every time you learn a Mishnah, every time you daven, every time you make a bracha, you're literally, giving your soul, its nourishment. You should know a very, very important thing. When a person does not take care of his neshama, he's not a happy person. Especially Eid, very, very important, because your neshama longs and desires a spiritual connection, knowing and not knowing. Your neshama, sometimes it comes through your mind, sometimes not, but your neshama really wants a deep connection. Just like humans want to be connected to a spouse. That's a human need. That's why we are married. That's why we stay married. That's what marriage is about. But your neshama has a real desire to connect. Any questions before we start? You know how to dim the lights, Michael?
Good question. Did we dim them or did we just turn them off? When we left the...
Some, yeah, I think turn some of them on.
Switches. I think we left that on and then we... left this. No, there you
We're gonna learn the meditation.
Well done.
We're gonna learn to meditate.
Yep.
Stein.
Good?
Yeah. Michael, you're amazing.
Really? I just could
Sleep.
turn off the light?
Only you know.
So as we said, tried the first beginners always need to take a lot of deep breaths to calm down, especially if your mind is running. Many people have this. The mind is. I explained this at the beginning that you could train your mind to be focused, but you have to first calm down. Take a few deep breaths till you feel calm, and then think. So I really think you should think about how the greatness of Hashem we just spoke about. Just think about how the Rebbeinu Shalom made you, and He created you. What I think about is I created nothing in myself. It is there, and I did not. What I do is fill up the gas tank. That's what we do. Fill up the stomach. You're thirsty. You're tired. But what we did to exist is the Hashem's will. Okay, we'll start. meditation?
Yeah. A lot of Yitzaharas come up, block you trying to meditate. Distractions.
That takes time. That means it takes time to learn how to focus. I mentioned the story a few weeks ago, a very famous story from one of the Rebbes, that someone asked him, someone asked him, the guy made a mistake. You have to correct him. What type of mistake? He looked it up and he said, after looking up Shulchan Aruch, this type of mistake you don't have to tell him. He said, Rebbe, what happens if you remind himself? He said, he doesn't daven. So when do you remind yourself of your mistakes? When you stand with Shamanes and everything comes to your mind. When you meditate, everything comes to your mind. I see it myself. I get up early in the morning to meditate, and all of a sudden, my Yetzirah tells me, you gotta look up this shala, you gotta take care of this halacha. I'm not wasting my time, but doesn't want you to meditate. That's that's a big Yetzirah. Look, I'm meditating probably 50 years, almost 50 years. And, I keep a chart how which, if it goes well that year, happened to be this year so far is going well, but I remember there were times like it was so difficult to get myself to meditate. I do it because I know the power of it, but it takes discipline. And why don't you, till next week, why don't you put into your meditation, think about you would like to have a great holy Pesach, a beautiful Seder, and talk to Hashem. Help me have this incredible, good Seder. And ask and talk to Hashem about it. Pesach is coming, it's such an important yontiv. I find very often people have a Seder and it gets wasted, Narishkeit, all the Seder. So ask, that's what I did today. I asked Hashem to help me make the best use of the Seder. And Pesach, it's a beautiful yontiv. It help me have a munah, strengthen my munah, strengthen the closest to Hashem. What I also do, when I'm very tired, I don't want to fall asleep, some of you asked, is I take a pasuk in Tehillim and I repeat it. And there's a few psukim that's very powerful. One very powerful Tehillim is in Kif Lamates. I once mentioned this. I say to Hashem, the Melech says, Unu eilech milichecho. How can I go away from your spirit? Unu miponecho everach. How can I run from you? Because every one of us has a part of him that wants to run. You want to run, you want to escape. There's a part of a person who really wants to run and escape. Like I said, no one gets up in the morning and says, yay, I'm alive. It's even myself, there are days, yes, but other days I would love to cover up and stay under the covers. So, the fact that, the power, I say this pasuk over and over, the Melech says, Unu eilech merichecho, where can I go away? Unu perecho evrach. Mesak shemayim, if I climb heaven, shamat utzi shanoil, if I spread out in hell, that's where you are. And the more you say it, the more you get connected to the Rebbeinu Shalom. The second is very important to be happy. If you're happy during the day, the meditation goes very easy. Let me tell you what I remind myself every day. I remind myself every day, if I wasn't happy today, do you know who lost out? Myself. And you know who else? The people around me. And is there a valid reason that we were not happy today? Let's be honest. The day could have been the same smile, a much better smile. If you could relive today, look at yourself at a video. Why wasn't I smiling? Life is great.
You do Averos.
You say?
If you do Averos.
Well, but you do tshuva, but life is still great.
What if you have Yetzer Hara not to do tshuva?
Well, yeah, well, but still, but not being happy doesn't help anyone. Not being happy doesn't help. Being besimcha, the famous about from Menachem Brester, ki besimcha, they'd say, with happiness you go out all of your Yetzer Haras. With unhappiness, there's a word from the Anan Kalina, he says, Atzvis is not an Aveda. It doesn't say the Torah not to be Atzvis. But Atzvis, depression, could pull a person into Aveda that no other Aveda could pull them into. When you're happy, you think much clearer. When you're happy, you connect to people much better. Let's be honest, when you're very happy, your shalom bayis is better. Then all of a sudden you don't blame your wife everything. When you're in a very good mood, whatever it is, you're happy. You're much more connected, you're much more close to Hashem. So I want to encourage you every day. Did you make every day this weekend?
So I've had a crazy few weeks, and I pushed myself. I didn't want to come tonight, but I know that my days are so much better when I meditate. So I kind of pushed myself to come tonight, and to get back into it. So that's my
You know what I tell myself? I also get this crunch with Pesach especially. People come sell the chametz and all the shalos. I don't forget to eat.
right.
But if I don't forget to eat, I cannot forget to meditate.
Right.
Is the type of meditation you're talking about Hisbodedus?
What do you say?
Talking about Hisbodedus?
Hisbodedus. There's different types. Hisbodedus means to be hisboded in Hashem. There's thinking. There's different types of meditation. So I'm trying to have you start off the easy meditation.
Uh-huh.
Any questions? Okay.
I'm excited to say Mojahani tomorrow.
So,
Be excited when you wake up, not Shem Vaidani. Greet yourself. Here I am. Another day to live. Listen, tomorrow you're gonna wake up no matter what. Hopefully. And if you're happy, then get the whole day, you know what I mean? I ask myself this at night, every night. I was not happy enough today. I'm the one. You know, it's silly not to be happy. It's a waste. Sometimes you tell yourself, if I'm not going to be happy, you know, I'm going to tell you something, no one cares. That's the most painful thing.
you'll be happy.
Yeah, no one cares about you if you walk around unhappy and they look at you, okay, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yiddish we say no.
How do we be happy?
Just focus on the positive things in life. There's so much good things going on in life. You focus on that makes a person happy. Focus on the positive things, what goes on in life. Everyone has great things going on in life. You know, I was with a dentist this week. I'm going to tell you a small thought that I had. And I am heading to 70. And I remember that my father's generation, people after 50, closer to 60, didn't have a teeth anymore. All had dentures. Remember your grandfather? Your own father? And how old was your father? Your father's still alive? Yeah.
My father's 72.
Yeah, but you remember your grandfather?
Sure. My great grandfather always said his teeth. He used to put them in water in the cup.
Sure. My father's generation, after 60, they didn't have teeth. Period. I still have a full mouth of teeth. We live longer. We can fetch inflation because we're going to fetch no matter what. Let me just tell you something. We are big fetchers. Period. Remember that. If you would win the lottery tonight, you'll be happy for 6 weeks and then you're going to be fetching and this and that. I met someone who was, let me tell you a frightening story. I knew someone who was struggling in Panosa like terrible, really, really struggling. And the Boishna blessed him, really blessed him. Baruch Hashem has a very, very good Panosa. He has but his Panosa turned around in town over here and he told me how much he makes. And, you know, and it's a whole crazy story, and they got into a business and real estate. So he still kvetches. I told him, I don't understand. 2 years ago, you told me, in the beginning of the pandemic, you were not sure you're gonna have money to buy food before Pesach. Now, Mamish, you're making unbelievable amount of money. Still kvetching. You're gonna be kvetch no matter what.
Wow.
That's what it is. Because, you know, it's part of, unfortunately, the curse that the Marishan got with Suvan Techlenu, the Zohar Kodesh says. You don't find anyone always happy. Yeah, isn't it amazing? The person we find plenty walking around the press. You ever find a man saying, you know, the guy's too happy. You know, what's wrong with the guy? Because we are naturally kvetches. That's how we naturally are. You know, my proof to is, when you get annoyed, most all of you are married here, when you get annoyed with your wife, you don't need Hallmark to tell you how to criticize her, right? You know how to do a much better job. You know how to say, you know what to say, and you could say 10 times, and you mark the zriz and makdim in the mitzvahs to say it right away, with a brand, a chassidische brand. But you want to appreciate it, you don't know how to do it, have to go to Hallmark, get a card, I don't know what to say. This may be too mushy, this is a bit low, this is a little too much, and you don't repeat yourself 10 times. And you're annoyed, I told you to do it. Comes to appreciate, you know, thank you, I love you, under the nose, una brand. Because, you know, that, we need someone to help us to be angry. I once had 2 of my grandchildren, one from Lakewood, one from Borough Park. It was the hunt of Sukkot, and they both put on a tantrum. I told them, my wife, you see, they went to the same yeshiva. They know how to put the exact same tantrum.
Oh.
Amazing. We have a 2-year-old, you know, they don't put up tantrum. I said, you know, the exact same school they went to. Okay, have a great week.